He's from Kiambu, but not from Alliance.
And not from Kikuyu, for sure. My name is Ichungw'A. Dr. Karanja, I see you have a very impressive CV and a very rich background in agriculture. And you've spoken at length on your experience, even in the setup of when you were with the World Bank on AFA, the work you have done in the dairy sector, Coffee Research Foundation in Ruiru. I was waiting to hear if there's anything to do with livestock development, and wondering whether you have done any work around livestock development, because if you have taken time to read the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, it had a lot to do with increasing productivity, right from the leather value chain on the livestock side. I was just looking at your CV and wondering whether you have any experience or anything you have done on the livestock side. Two, the extensive work you've done in the crop development area, whether in coffee or all the other areas I've seen from your CV, and very good papers you seem to have written in these areas. Other than consultancy and advising government from the World Bank, have you directly worked with the public sector or in the public sector, except the 1.5 years in Tegemeo? Not Tegemeo is a policy research institute at Egerton University. And I saw many Kenyans, when you were nominated, purporting that you used to be the personal assistant to the former cabinet secretary, Mithika Linturi. Were you, or have you, you said you have worked with cabinet secretaries. Were you Mithika Linturi's personal assistant at any point, or have you worked with him in the ministry? Two, you have definitely heard about the fertilizer subsidy program and the scandals that came out of it. I want to hear how you intend to handle the, what are called the cartels in Kilimo House, especially around the supply of fertilizer, how you intend to deal with that. Thank you.
Go ahead, Dr.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable member. Thank you, Majority Leader. Well, first of all, in terms of livestock development, yes, I have also some experience in livestock development. My thesis in the University of Nairobi, my MSc thesis was on cattle breeding. So that is an area. I also did a lot of work when I was in Tegemeo. Actually, I did work on reviewing the policies on dairy sector. So I'm well conversant with the livestock development. In my consultancy work, I've also worked in all the counties, especially in ourselves, evaluating programs managed by EU and other agencies in the livestock sector. In the public, you also inquired about how I've interacted with the public sector. I want to point out that I started, as I mentioned in the beginning, I started as an extension officer, so from the grassroots. I went all the way to become a planning officer, all the way to an economist in coffee research, and of late, as a member of the task force on coffee reform. So I have interacted in various ways with the public sector. And when I was in the World Bank, definitely I was interacting with the public sector, both at the higher level and the lower level in terms of operations. Being a PA, this one caught me off guard and surprising. For the record, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, I've never met the former honorable Minister for Agriculture. I've never been a PA.
Yes, Minority Leader.
I think so.
Have you answered all the questions?
No, there is one more, which the Majority Leader, Honorable Ichungw'A, asked about the fertilizer subsidy and the cartels. And I would say that, yes, this is a very critical program, which, as you all know, members know, is the one, the food security, center of the food security program. And yes, there are cartels. There was issues the last season, in terms of the quality of the fertilizer, the distribution of the fertilizer. And I would handle, if approved by this committee and the House, this is one of the areas which I would like to work hands-on on to make sure that the farmers are getting the right fertilizer at the right time and the quality is okay. And the cartels, what happens is that cartels thrive where there is lack of competition and openness. I would make sure that there is openness and the integrity is maintained in the procurement of these inputs. Two is the issue about making sure that I have a governance structure which you guide the way fertilizers are procured, the way they are distributed, by having a multi-agency system which can check on some of these cartels and make sure that any untold thing, especially on quality, like involving KEBS at the beginning, so that we are sure that the fertilizer we are procuring is also in good quality. The other element is also to kind of remove the focus, too much focus on the central procurement. And this is what is being touted as you can go into what we call the voucher system, where the farmers can even go. Eventually, they can be able to procure the fertilizers from other agencies apart from NCPB. So there, the government doesn't have to procure. So you remove away the concentration too much in Kilimo House so that farmers are able to procure from agro dealers eventually.